The air was thick with anticipation in the capital, Lanus. The streets thrummed with the excited whispers of citizens as they gathered to welcome their heroes. 5 figures emerged from the haze of the distant battlefields, greeted by a sea of waving hands and tearful cheers. Albin Shannon led the group, his eyes scanning the crowd for familiar faces. Right beside him was his sister Claire, whose steely gaze spoke volumes of the trials they had faced. Rita Higgins, Jeffrey Stewart, and Juliet Sander flanked them, their postures betraying the weariness and unwavering resolve that had carried them through the fight against the hollow creatures. The members of the Hammer ruling council stood in silent vigil, led by Dr. Dominic Sander. This was the first time in 3 years the council had convened in full. Each governor bore the weight of the tragedy that had claimed 114 lives in a devastating plane crash, mingling their relief with sorrow as they listened to the heroes' tales of courage. Inside the grand chambers, the heroes reported their grim news: lives lost, wounds sustained, and the ruin inflicted upon Windorf and Astoria. Dr. Sander's face hardened at the recounting of the battle's horrors, yet he exuded a quiet strength, determined to lead his people through yet another trial. His next destination was Lanus Capital Hospital, where his niece Luna lay recuperating from the grievous injuries she had endured. Each step down the sterile hallways felt heavier as he thought of the many brave souls like her. Brave souls like Reynold Shannon, Kristen Stewart, Richard Burns, Avril Hart, Helen Rydell, Josephine Shannon, and Arthur Sander, each deserving of honor and remembrance. Addressing the gathered crowd, Dr. Sander's voice resonated through the square. He spoke of the valor of these young defenders, of the dire sacrifices made, and the indomitable spirit displayed. He vowed that the fallen would not be forgotten, that the wounded would receive the best care, and that the states of Windorf and Astoria would rise from the ashes, phoenix-like, stronger than before. Anxiety lingered in the back of everyone's minds. Would the hollow creatures return? Would these heroes and their allies rise again to shield their homeland from the enigmatic threat? Clutching the hope kindled in this moment of unity and resolve, the nation of Hammer stood firm, each person a silent sentinel ready to face whatever darkness lay ahead.